Hey there, fellow ramblers. Are you tired of when you join a group, they make you feel like you're a lost sheep or you don't belong? Or are you part of a group and you're sick of losing new members just as fast as they're joining? Well, fear not, because in today's episode, I'm going to share some tips on how it is so important to welcome new members and how to do it, welcoming those new members to your organization in a way that will make them stick around like glue. Whether you're part of a mom's group, a church group, a political organization, we've got you covered today. From drama-free greetings to strength-finding exercises. You don't want to miss this episode. Let's grow those organizations. So grab your earbuds and get ready to ramble. Hi, I'm Jenna, and I'm always rambling. Just ask my husband. I have a great family and a pretty cool life, but I'm a recovered alcoholic. That's hard to say, but my goal is to inspire and educate to help others hopefully find life beyond an addiction. I'm all things: sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Getting healthy, momming, and politics. Get offended easily? You better stop listening. There is no point in wasting that Botox by stressing yourself out listening to a podcast. Welcome to Ramblings of an Addict with Jenna Dix. Today's episode brought to you by products and services that I'm thoroughly addicted to. Hey, Minnesota and Wisconsin pals, are you tired of overpaying for insurance? Meet Tucker Schlottman, the insurance broker who can save you money and put a smile on your face. How do I know? Because my husband and I got that same smile on ours after sending Tucker a quick text to run our numbers. I know Tucker personally, and he helped us save big bucks on our insurance. Tucker has years of experience serving Minnesota and Wisconsin families, and he knows how to find the right coverage you need at a price you can afford. As a new father himself, he knows how important this is for families. All you have to do is give him a call or shoot him a text, and he'll get the process started. So why wait? In a tough economy, we all could use a little extra cash in our pockets. Tucker Schlottman, your insurance partner for life and the guy who can save you money and make you smile. Be sure to check the show notes for more information so you can text him right now. Or if you know anyone who needs help with a new home or auto insurance policy or reshopping on their current policy, spread the love and introduce them to Tucker. Hello, welcome to the podcast today. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm so excited to be recording today. It has been a few days. I had it on my docket a few days ago to record, and I got nailed with, I don't know if it was a cold or the flu or what, but I'm on the up and up, thankfully, and I'm excited to pop in and record again because I've had this message on my heart for a few days, and I definitely want to get it out there. As you heard in the intro, it's about really helping organizations grow and flourish by welcoming new members. So not only is this good, I think, for new members to hear, but in addition, organizations that have been around for a while or groups that you really just want to see grow, this is going to be information that can be really helpful. So I highly encourage, if you are part of a group or an organization, like I said, a mom's group or a church group, a Bible study, a business networking group, political groups, anything of that sort, this message is going to be really helpful if you want to see growth happening. So, listen to this yourself, share it with the leadership of the group, maybe have it as like a listening session for the group as a whole, but make sure you're sharing this message because hopefully this is really information that will help your group grow and maintain the growth that you do see. So, remember, sharing an episode is really simple. You just hit the share button on the bottom of whatever podcast app you're using. And if you have not yet, make sure you're also rating and reviewing the podcast. I appreciate that. And it gives me kind of that kudos of, okay, yep, I'm on target with the message. And if not, please always don't hesitate. You can reach out, and I'm always happy to connect to make sure I'm touching on messages that are ones that you as a listener want to hear. So with that, I want to dive right into today's message. As you probably are aware, if you are a listener of this show, I myself am a member of many different groups. I'm in some moms groups. I'm in some business networking groups. I am in some political groups. I am in, some Bible studies and some church groups, different groups of many kinds. And because of this, I know firsthand how important it is to feel welcomed and included when you're that person coming into the group. That is why I'm so freaking excited to launch today's podcast and share with you some more practical tips for creating a group that is, number one, supportive, and number two, the ultimate goal, a thriving group, a thriving community, one that you want to see maintain and continue to grow bigger. So, like I said, whether it's a mom's group, a church group, business networking, a political organization, these strategies are ones that will work for any kind of group, help attract and retain new members so that those new members feel invested and they feel like they are part of the purpose of the group. So follow this podcast and join me on the journey today so that you too can learn all about growth for a group and community building. All right, so with that, the first step is to ensure that the group is incredibly welcoming. I remember the first time I actually went to, I think every group you go to for the first time, you're a little worried, right? The highest nerves I remember ever feeling was when I attended a political organization meeting. So in the Republican Party, they're called BPOUs. So the BPOU is your local Republican club, basically, right? It's the easiest way to explain it. And when I attended my local BPOU, and I brought Mike with me, so it's like I had my partner at my side, but I still was a little worried. Like, oh my goodness, is this going to be a bunch of old crabby people? And I know now, like, that's that's not fair, but like, let's be real, right? Even as a Republican myself, like, that is what the party sometimes is painted as old, crabby people. So I was very worried. But I can tell you, the group was incredibly welcoming, and I am so thankful for that. But it just proved to me, having a welcoming group is key. So I wanted to talk about some tips to really make sure that whatever group you are part of, you are being welcoming to those newcomers walking in the door. So first and foremost, if you are part of a group, make sure that you're incorporating some type of social or networking time. So don't have the meeting start at 6:30. Everyone shows up at 6:30 and you jump right into business. That can be really overwhelming for a lot of people. Give yourself some buffer time with some social time beforehand. Even if it's brief and then you do a little bit at the end, that's fine. But have a little bit so that people can walk in and make a connection or two so that they're not sitting there feeling like a loner the entire meeting, because that would suck. So that way those new people can be welcomed verbally, which means that you do need members to be aware of, oh, hey, somebody new just walked in the door. Let's make sure we're friendly. And I will be the first to admit there's days I'm like, I do not want to be social at this moment. I do not want to be the person to go over and say hello. I've been that bitch. I'm not even going to deny that. But it is important, if you feel you are someone in that group that you want to see the group succeed, you want to see the group grow, be friendly. Kick the crabbiness to the curb and go say hi. It is not difficult. Kids do this all the time. I watch my daughter go to the playground and hi to every little child, right? We can do that as adults as well. Another piece that you can incorporate is, so once the meeting has commenced, once it's, done and over, afterwards you can do welcome cards, emails, or phone calls. So whatever works best for your group, obviously, and obviously timeline appropriate. If you're meeting every few days, Probably snail mail card, not the best, maybe a quick email or a quick call, but somehow have someone in your group in charge of following up with that person. Hey, it was really great to see you. Thank you so much for attending our meeting. What did you think? Did you have any questions? We wanted to follow up to make sure it went well for you. Just to make sure, number one, they feel seen, but making sure that, hey, we really valued you being there. Another step is to assign a mentor or a buddy for that individual that is new. So that way, they don't need to feel like I need to know all the things right away. I need to figure it all out. If they want to join the group and you give them a buddy or a mentor, that person is someone they can lean on. They have somebody that they know they can reach out to. They kind of feel, buddied up with someone. When I joined a business networking group, this was a step they implemented, and it actually was really nice because I knew if I had questions, I could call or text that individual and they would get back to me. I will tell you, if you are someone that is stepping up to be a mentor or to be a buddy like that, do your job. If you are going to step up to help support a new member and you do a shitty job, you are painting that whole group in a crappy light. And we all have seasons where we're like, okay, I said I could do this and, life happened. I just pass it off. Go to your leader then and be like, hey, I know I said I could be an accountability buddy or I could be a mentor. Right now, it's just, I don't have the bandwidth. Can we pass that to someone else right now? Because I've also been in situations where that's happened. And for the new member, that leaves a really bad taste in your mouth. Like, oh, am I a pain in the ass? Does this person even want me here? So you need to make sure if you are stepping up to be a mentor or a buddy, do your job. Another tip for making sure that your group is incredibly welcoming is the group leadership needs to ensure there isn't a ton of drama or negativity happening within the meeting. And, I'm in politics. There's plenty of drama that happens. And, some of it is, I don't want to say appropriate, but some of it is necessary. Sometimes we have to take care of business and it does go down in a more dramatic way. I will say, if it cannot be rectified in a matter of minutes, this needs to be tabled and dealt with at a more appropriate time. Because if you're trying to create a welcoming group and you're bringing in new people and they're walking into a meeting that is incredibly drama-filled, you're going to cut your new base more than likely in half. Because there's going to be some people that are like, oh, cool, that's like soap opera city. I'm going to come back. And then there's going to be other people that are like, dude, I have enough drama in my life. I don't have time for this shit. And they won't come back. So make sure if you are in a group, you are on the leadership end of it, and there's drama going down, that it is being handled in a professional way. If it is not being handled professionally, table it. We will deal with this at a later time. Some more specific examples with the welcoming that I just wanted to bring up that related to some specific types of groups. So I was thinking, some moms groups. If you are running a moms group and you want to see the group grow, some great ways to make sure that you're being incredibly welcoming is have some social media connections outside of the group. So number one, add each other on social media. I think we all know most moms nowadays are using social media pretty regularly. So add each other, friend each other, follow each other, whatever platforms you're on. If you don't already, create yourselves a group on Facebook. If you have one already, perfect. Make sure you're adding those newbies into that Facebook group so they're brought into the deeper community as well. So not only did they attend your meeting, but hey, we added you into our community so that you see we're communicating on the regular. Maybe it's a text thread. I know a lot of moms do that as well. Throw them into the text thread so that next time they come to a meeting, it's not like all these little inside jokes are going on around them and they're like, what is going on? I don't remember that last time. Oh, we talked about that in the thread. Well, that's rude, right? Get them into those outside connections. If it's a mom's group as well, another idea is for new moms coming in, set up some play dates. Have a couple moms who kind of are pinpointed to set those up, and then once a month do a play date and all the new moms and their kiddos are invited. A church group, maybe it's a new member that you're bringing into a church group, offer them a free Bible. It's a great way to make sure that they feel welcomed. I know my church does this on the regular. Every single week I hear my pastor, if you don't have a Bible, I'd love to give you one. Absolutely. And if you're a church group, why not? All right. So once this individual has been warmly welcomed, the next thing is you want to make sure you are educating them. And right, most of the time they've already gone through school, so we're not talking, reading, writing, and arithmetic, educating. We're talking about you want to make sure that these new members are educated on the organization's values, culture, and the goals. So that way they truly feel like they are part of what is going on. There's nothing worse than feeling like I have no idea what's going on around me right now. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time being here. So making sure that they know exactly what's going on. So making sure that if there's ever, I guess, best way to say it would be like industry specific type of education pieces for your group. So popping to mind right away for me would be like in the political sphere, making sure that, Robert's Rule of Order, because that's how majority of all of our meetings are run in the political space. They follow Robert's Rule of Order. And if you didn't know that, you just learned something new, okay? So all political meetings for the most part are following Robert's Rule of Order. And if you come in and you have no idea, and all of a sudden all these crazy things are going on around you, and you're like, oh, why did they do it that way? Oh, why did they do it that way? Oh, why did they say that specific thing? Oh, what does that mean? It's going to go over your head over and over and over. And if you simply just sit down with a new member and quickly explain, hey, so when we run a meeting, we always follow Robert's Rule of Order. You can check here and here for some details on that, but just maybe even sit with them and give them a 2-minute breakdown of what that looks like. And obviously I just said, that's in the political space, but I can even tell you I'm actually part of a group that helps organize a prayer breakfast in my community. Our meetings follow Robert's Rule of Order as well. And that has nothing to do with politics. That's a prayer breakfast in my community, right? Bringing all types of people together. And we follow Robert's Rule of Order. So if there's ever anything going on in your organization that's more technical or more industry specific that an outsider may be like, I have no idea what's going on, educate them on that. Some other industry specific things, and my head automatically goes right to politics because there is some more, I guess, industry specific things there. But, if somebody says, hey, I want to be a delegate, or I want to be more part of the process, you're going to need to sit down with that individual and explain to them, okay, what is a delegate, number one? What do I do? What does the commitment look like? What is a convention? What does the convention system look like, right? There's a lot of different pieces, and you're not going to be able to sit down with this person and explain it in one day. But making sure there's an education plan set up so that as you're bringing on new members, all of these types of things are laid out clearly so that they know what's going on. And it's not just going over their head. They're missing things. They're committing to things that they really aren't even sure what they're committing to. And like I said, I talked a lot about politics with that piece, but there's industry-specific types of things in all types of groups. Like, for example, maybe you're in a Bible study and you're using ESV and they're using NIV Bible. And they can't figure out why their verses are different. Oh, are you using the ESV? Oh, no. I didn't even have a clue that's what we read, the one we were trying to focus on here. And I've been part of this Bible study for 2 months, right? Like, we don't want that situation. And obviously, ESV, NIV, they're very similar. But nonetheless, there could be some nuances that are being missed because that person wasn't cued in on that. So make sure that we're cueing people coming in on where we're at, what our typical norms look like, okay? Some other things, like if your group has responsibilities or duties that rotate or everyone signs up for, cue those new members in so that at the end they're not like, oh, wait a minute, what? I was supposed to take a turn on the snack list, or I was supposed to, be in charge of getting the paperwork ready one of those weeks. Cue people in on responsibilities and duties. And the why is because when people are cued in on the educational pieces and they understand the culture and what's important to the group, they feel more confident. They feel more, I am in the right place right now. I belong here. They feel included. They feel prepared, which my personality type, when I don't feel prepared, I want to cover myself up with a blanket and just disappear. There's nothing worse to a personality type like mine, like that type A, very addictive. I like to just have things, all my ducks in a row, If you're not prepared, there is almost no worse feeling. And if you're not educating people, you are setting them up to feel not prepared. And in the end, when people are cued in, they're educated, they know what's going on, you are helping them be more successful, which in the end is what we want for the group as a whole. That is what is going to help the group thrive. All right. So once you have welcomed them, they're educated with kind of the foundation pieces for the group. The next piece is you really want to make sure you're helping tap into their individual strengths to see how can they best serve our group? How can we put them in a place in our group based off of what they're good at, not only to help them thrive as an individual member of the group, but to help the group thrive, right? To help the group do better. So first and foremost, you got to put your curiosity hat on. You're going to need to ask this person, hey, what are you good at? What kind of skills do you have? Tell me a little bit about what you've done in the past. Tell me about your experiences. What interests you? I remember the first meeting, like I was talking about a couple minutes ago, that first political meeting I walked into, that first BPOU, a couple individuals at the end were asking me those same exact questions. And what blew me away was almost a year later, those same individuals remembered my answers that I had said to them a year ago, and I barely remembered their faces, right? I grew to know them, and now I know these people very well, but those people took the time to not only ask questions, but actually sit and listen to what my interests were, what I thought I could help with, what I thought may interest me in the future within the group. Once you've asked those questions, you need to provide them opportunities for different tasks or different roles within the group. Maybe, I would suggest based off of the responses they gave you, if at all possible. If not, maybe, oh yeah, I know you said XYZ. We don't have anything like that right now. Maybe you want to try these couple of things and see if they fit. And if not, we'll continue to work with you until we find something that fits what you really enjoy. Okay, but try out different things. That way, they're not just getting shoved at one task or one role and they hate it and they wind up quitting. Some groups I do know do skills assessments depending on what type of group it is. Obviously, a lot of workforces do that. A lot of more of the clubs, this isn't necessarily needed. I would encourage, if it's possible, do some personality tests, do some different skills assessments so that you can really see who is good at what, who enjoys what, so you can place people appropriately. I think, honestly, there's probably a lot of people already in groups that are doing things and they're like, ugh, this drains me. And it's because they're in things that aren't necessarily best for the skill set that they have. If you run a couple quick skills assessments or things of that sort, they might figure out that, oh, no wonder I don't like that. I'd actually be better at this over here. The next thing is, as a member of the group, you need to do the ask. So what this means is if you see somebody's really doing well at a certain thing, or you see they have a skill set that would be really perfect for XYZ, bring it up to them and ask them, hey, what do you think about trying this or doing this? Because a lot of times, especially females, we need to be asked. we're not just going to jump at that opportunity. Most of us, right? There's definitely going to be some that are like, oh, I can do that. I'm going to put my hand up in the air and say, I want to try that. I will be, honest and say more often than not, I'm one that will raise my hand myself. Not always, but more often than not. But I also know not many people do that. I'm in a program right now that is for females only, and it's, we're getting educated on more of the political type stuff, but they actually were talking about this, and I just sat there and kept nodding my head thinking, absolutely. Not many females would raise their hand and say, oh, I want to try that. Let me give that a go, because they're going to sit there and be like, oh, somebody else would be better at that. Oh, I might be okay, but oh, they could actually do this. Or that guy over there, he probably wants to do this. They sit and make excuses. So as a member, make sure if you see something like, oh my goodness, that new member, they are really good at XYZ and I want them to try that. Bring it up to them. Offer it. Because more than likely, they probably aren't going to throw themselves at that opportunity. And then my last piece is make sure that you are then, when you have new members, they're starting to try new roles, they're trying new things out, seeing where their skills, match best with your group. Make sure you're doling out recognition. Whether it's, hey, great job, I saw you do that, and, verbal affirmations, depending on the group. I'm not much for participation trophies, but if there's a way your group recognizes people for hard work, make sure you're recognizing those new members too. Because that is really important. It makes sure that they know, hey, I am helping feed the purpose of this group right now. It shows that, hey, they are seeing the investment that I'm pouring into this group. And it shows that they have value in your organization's mission. And being a new member, being able to see that others are seeing you holds a substantial amount of weight. So, some great ideas for specific types of groups. So, let's say that you're a mom's group and you're like, okay, how can we make sure that we're all helping each other and even the new members can speak up a little bit? Maybe take turns going around the group, especially depending on size. You'd have to make sure it fits the size of the group. But go around the room and be like, okay, everyone share a high and a low from the week. So that way everyone gets a chance to talk, but number one. But number two, when people are talking about their lows, maybe they need some advice. And maybe a new member could help tap into that. It opens up the floor in a way where somebody could step in and assist, give an idea, give a thought, give some feedback. And it's not a big ask. It's not a super hairy, scary way of having to jump in, right? Maybe, mom A is having some issues with potty training and brand new mom B just went through that with her 3-year-old and is like, you know what worked for little Timmy and Susie? This really helped us. Oh, hey, thanks for your idea. Another one is, in politics. So as the election approaches, it's really important to make sure that active members know what is needed and that all of the different opportunities for support and volunteering are open and discussed so everybody knows what really is an opportunity to help out. So you don't have to sit and be like, yeah, elections are coming and I'm going to have to go door knock, or elections are coming and I'm going to have to make phone calls. Maybe these people don't want to do that. They're not technically, people. And they don't want to go talk. Maybe, hey, you know what you could really help out with because you have a really big pickup and you have some muscle on you. Maybe you could help go post some signs. Or, hey, you know what we could really use is actually just having you help drive candidates from A to B because they're busy on the phone and they just need some help. If you just took that driving piece away so they could stay busy calling fundraising people or things of that sort, right? There's so many jobs. And I think so quick, we're just fast to be like, oh yeah, I have to go door knock, or I have to go lit drop, or make a phone call. Offer the full gamut. All right, so kind of tying all this together, putting the pretty bow on top of the package. So if you are part of a group, I think it's clear. Groups need new members to grow. Because if we're not growing, we're dying, right? But we cannot expect a new member to walk in the door and magically just fit in all on their own. But I think that's what a lot of groups expect. Hey, just mesh, figure it out. Where do you fit? That's your job. You want to be here, figure it out. We as group members need to create a welcoming and supportive environment that helps that new person mesh, find their place, and then succeed. It's not going to be easy for anyone, especially when, we're dealing with busy schedules on everybody's ends right now. But the question comes down to, what is the goal? If the goal is you want your group to grow, you need to put any excuses aside and remember to lean in. So it is important. You need to welcome those new members with open arms. Find their strengths and then create a community that truly supports that person growing and diving in where it best fits. Because when we come together, we can accomplish amazing, amazing things. And we can overcome some crazy challenges. But we need to do it in a way that is ensuring these new people walking in the door know they belong. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, share this with any groups that you are part of. Share it with the leadership team, because I think every group sometimes needs that little reminder, that little refresher of, oh yeah, we do want to grow, and these are going to be the important steps we are incorporating to not only continue to keep heading in the right direction, but to maybe even amp things up and continue to grow at a more rapid rate. So thank you for tuning in, and remember, we are all in this together. I will catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Ramblings of an Addict with Jenna Dix. Remember, if you are battling an addiction, reach out for help and support. There are many resources available to assist in your journey towards recovery. Surround yourself with a supportive community and never give up on the path towards a healthier and happier life. I appreciate you taking the time to listen and joining me on this journey. As you heard, I'm always rambling. But seriously, thank you for your support, and make sure to subscribe and follow my channel. I can't wait to share more with you on the next episode. Until then, keep on rambling. If you have found this podcast helpful and want to dive deeper into personal growth and self-improvement, be sure to head over to my website, jennadix.com. You'll find a wealth of resources there. There is a little less drugs, sex, and rock and roll these days, but whether you're interested in getting healthy, information on momming or parenting, or politics, jennadix.com has something for everyone. So, what are you waiting for? Head to jennadix.com today and start your journey towards personal growth and self-awareness. See you there.